We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings, secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is 6 a.m. It is February 11th. You probably, if you tune in only on YouTube, you will probably be hearing this late. Well, not probably. You will be hearing this late because I have a strike. I got a strike for the Alex Jones episode, in his own words. The only reason I even put that episode out was because I was getting hate in the comment section, and it ended up biting me in the ass. Because apparently YouTube, if you're playing anything from someone who's been taken off their platform, they give you a strike for it, even if you're commenting on it. So it's fucked up. But at least it's my first strike on, well, the second channel that I had to create on YouTube, but it's kind of fucking annoying, man. So you'll be hearing this late if you're tuning in on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, you can check us out on Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Breaker, Spotify, and Anchor. That way you can keep up with the channel whenever I get strikes and stuff. I do have another YouTube channel, which is just called Abe Williams. The profile picture is a dream catcher, so go ahead and subscribe to that because I will probably put this episode out on it until my strike is over. But yeah, fun. As far as an update, that's about it. I've just been chilling at the house. I was going to put out a podcast the other day, but just kind of got discouraged with the whole YouTube drama. So I've just been reading, chilling, watching TV, and therapy appointment, work, all that fun stuff. But yeah, let's get on with the show. So let's talk about Joe Rogan. Basically, Joe Rogan going through some beef with Spotify, Neil Young, a bunch of artists who no one really gives a shit about. I would have covered it, but just haven't had the time. But this is the recent stuff on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan rejects $100 million podcast deal offer from right-wing video site Rumble. Embattled podcaster Joe Rogan said he isn't planning to exit his Spotify deal to bring his popular and controversial show to Rumble, video platform startup catering to right-wing personalities. By the way, there's a lot of drama and stuff because of the whole Joe Rogan and Dr. Malone interview. Sorry, I just finished eating, so I have the hiccups. It always, as soon as I turn on this mic, that's when it kicks in. But yeah. Rogan is in a stand-up performance Tuesday in Austin, Texas, told the crowd he would not be moving the Joe Rogan Experience to Rumble, which earlier this week publicly offered him a $100 million deal. Rogan's exclusive multi-year Spotify deal is reportedly worth $100 million. So it's a multi-year Spotify deal. I didn't know that personally. Which Spotify, he said, they wouldn't censor him, but they have censored him from day one. As soon as he switched over from YouTube to Spotify, they automatically started censoring basically anything with Eddie Bravo on there. They might have censored the Alex Jones episodes. So right from the get-go, they were censoring. Which we all kind of expected it. We all kind of knew it was coming. But yeah, so Rumble slipped in and tried to, hey, come on over to us and we won't censor you at all. No, Spotify has hung in with me inexplicably, Rogan said in an answer to an audience member's question about whether he was taking Rumble up on its offer as reported by THR. Let's see what happens, he says. Rogan has faced a storm of criticism and a backlash from Spotify users and artists in recent weeks, traveling along two different vectors. His repeated use of the N-word in past episodes of his podcast, and accusations that Rogan's show had served as a platform for beer bug misinformation. By the way, I actually stand with Rogan on the whole N-word thing. He never actually used it in a derogatory way. Somebody made a compilation of him just saying it, using it as the word. I mean, I'm the type, though, I despise Howard Stern, but like I kind of side with the whole zero censorship on talk radio, podcasting. I've never censored myself. I mean, I've said faggot on multiple episodes. Not towards anyone gay or not trash talking anyone gay, just simply because I have been called faggot. So I've just said faggot, you know. I'll never censor myself, so I believe in zero censorship, so I stand with him on that, you know. In a publicity move, Rumble, whose investors include conservative tech billionaire Peter Thiel, I do not know who that is, and Fox News host Dan Bongino, who was recently banned by YouTube for policy violations, on Monday issued an open appeal to Rogan to move his podcast to his platform with an offer of $100 million over 4 years. Quote, "We stand with you, your guest, and your legion of fans in desire for real conversation," Rumble CEO Chris Pavlovsky, like Pavlov's dog, but with a ski at the end. Must be Polish, I'm guessing. That or Russian, perhaps. Pavlovsky wrote in an open letter, adding, "And yes, this is totally legit." On his podcast Tuesday, Rogan complained that the viral video compilation of him using the N-word 24 times was a political hit job. That video had always been out there. It's like, this is a political hit job, Rogan said. He continued. And so they're talking all of this stuff I've ever said that's wrong and smushing it all together. Rogan also said the experience had been a relief, telling listeners, "It's good because it makes me address some shit that I really wish wasn't out there." Last Friday, Spotify pulled 70 episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience from the platform. Dating from 2009 to 2018, the company said it removed those at the request of Rogan, so they didn't do it just without his consent, which is cool. And his team, after talking about his racially insensitive language in some episodes. In his stand-up routine Tuesday evening, Rogan said he used to say the N-word when talking about a Richard Pryor bit or something, and that I would say it in context. He continued, "I haven't used that word in years, but it's kind of weird people will get really mad if you use that word and tweet about it on a phone that's made by slaves." Ha ha! True that. Previously, Rogan, in an Instagram post on February 5th, apologized over the supercut clip of him saying the N-word, calling it the most regretful and shameful thing I've ever had to talk about publicly. Spotify CEO Daniel Ek on Sunday sent a memo to employees saying that he was deeply sorry for how the Rogan controversy has affected them. But he wrote, "I do not believe that silencing Joe is the answer. Canceling voices is a slippery slope." I agree with that. Anybody should be able to say whatever they want, whenever they want, whether it's offensive or not. That's just my personal view. The media's recent bright spotlight on Rogan switched on last month when Neil Young demanded Spotify remove his songs or drop Rogan's podcast, citing beerbug misinformation on the show. Young's, by the way, who the fuck even listens to Neil Young? I mean, I didn't even know who he was until somebody was like, it's that dude who made some song to keep on rocking in the free world. And I was like, oh, so just some guy who made shitty music back in the day. Okay. Who cares? I mean, Rogan has like millions of followers. Who even listens to Neil Young? Sorry. I mean, I like old music too, but I like shit like the Ramones, the Misfits, Black Sabbath, Dio. I don't know, like good fucking old music. Heart, Rush. Not some fucking Neil Young trash. Sorry if you're a Neil Young fan, it's just his music fucking sucks. When Neil Young demanded Spotify remove his songs or drop Rogan's podcast, citing beerbug misinformation on the show, Young's boycott has been joined by a handful of others, including Joni Mitchell. I have no idea who the fuck that is. India Arie. Have no idea who the fuck that is. David Crosby. Have no idea who the fuck that is. Stephen Stills and Graham Nash. Have no idea who the fuck those people are either. So basically a bunch of nobodies are boycotting. Oh, big deal. No one fucking knows you. No one fucking cares. On Monday, Young urged Spotify employees to quit, writing in a blog post, "Get out of the place before it eats up your soul." What a wanker. What a loser. But yeah, that's what's going on with Rogan. I figured I'd cover it just because most people wouldn't even honestly be listening to podcasts without people like Rogan. I have to say, as I don't idolize him or nothing, but he is one of the reasons why I started my podcast. You know, he was an inspiration, and yeah, he inspired me to podcast myself. So I wouldn't be here right now, and you wouldn't be listening without people like Rogan. But today we're just going to cover some crazy news stories and all that type of jazz. I've collected a few here and there of some crazy stuff that happened recently that's interesting. So stay tuned. We'll get on with the next story. So this is a crazy story. Eunuch maker arrested after police raid on flat over alleged live-streamed castrations. 7 men were arrested in a North London flat after reports of castration procedures that were broadcast live online. Metropolitan Police arrested the men in a flat in Finsbury Park, London, following a raid in December, and searched the residence for 3 days, the Sun reported. The source told the Sun that the basement property was being used by the men to film castrations, and the procedures were apparently shown on a pay-per-view adult channel that was advertised online using a Twitter account. The practice is linked to a subculture where people identify as Nullos, that's Nullos, short for genital nullification, after willingly undergoing the surgical removal of their external genitalia. A Met spokesperson confirmed to ITV that officers from the 4th Central Specialist Crime Unit had conducted a search warrant at a residence in Finsbury Park between the 7th of December and the 10th of December. Spokesperson said that the warrant was in connection with an investigation into an allegation of grievous bodily harm. They added that a man aged in his 40s was arrested in relation to the investigation and is currently on bail. The other suspects are aged in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. According to The Sun, a castrated man involved in the raid reportedly dubbed himself the Eunuch Maker and runs a film production company. Speaking after the raid, a neighbor told the newspaper that police were outside the flat for a few days and put items that looked like computers and laptops into plastic bags. One of the most famous Nullos is a Japan artist, Mayo Sugiyama, who reportedly had his genitals surgically removed, cooked, and served to paying guests at a public event in 2012. Sugiyama voluntarily underwent surgery to have his genitals removed, and it is claimed that he had initially considered eating his own body parts, but it was reported that he later decided to cook and serve them garnished with mushrooms and parsley for 5 dinner party guests. So there you have it. I came across that as February 8th was when that was put out, 2022. Yeah, crazy shit. So here's one that I found interesting. A Tennessee pastor led a Harry Potter and Twilight book burning and told his followers to stop allowing demonic influences into your home. I'm actually personally a fan of Harry Potter, not so much Twilight, but I do find it hilarious though how outdated like burning Harry Potter books. I mean, I guess I could see it. Like it is timeless. I still read Harry Potter. I'm actually reading a book right now. It's Quidditch Through the Ages. It's like a side book in the series, but I don't know. I do find it a little bit hilarious. A Tennessee pastor held a book burning on February 2nd, urging his followers to throw their Harry Potter and Twilight copies into the bonfire. By the way, too, you actually have to purchase those books to burn them, so you're actually helping out the authors, which always cracked me up about this. I think there was a movie they made a couple years back. It was about NWA. And it was like they were burning all these NWA albums, and the guys in the band had like drove past it in the bus and seen it or something. I never watched the movie, but I heard about the scene. And one of the guys in the band was like, "Man, what the fuck? Like, what a waste. Like, look at them destroying our music." And the other member of the band said, "I don't care. They bought the CD. They bought the album. Like, we're still making money off of it. Thanks. Go ahead. Buy some more. Burn them." So, yeah. The event, which was live streamed on Facebook this past Wednesday, was held to denounce witchcraft. Greg Locke, head pastor at Global Vision Bible Church, said in an Instagram post, "Bring all your Harry Potter stuff. Laugh all you want, haters. I don't care. It's witchcraft 100%. Locke said. Oh, by the way, as someone who is an occultist and someone who practices witchcraft, none of the spells in the book are actually fucking real. Sorry to burst your little bubble there, buddy. But none of the spells are fucking real. All your Twilight books and movies, that mess is full of spells, demonism, shape-shifting, and occultism. There's a little tiny bit of occultism in it, but occultism is basically, the word occult means hidden, and learning about hidden, gaining knowledge of the hidden, you know. But if you want to, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Once again, though, it's not full of actual spells. I mean, I can't go Levioso Expectico and then all of a sudden my cup rise from the table or something. Stop allowing demonic influences into your home, Locke wrote in a Facebook post that has since been removed, The Guardian reported. The event comes amid a nationwide movement from schools to impose a ban on well-known works of literature. Earlier this month, a Texas parent demanded that her kid's school remove all copies of a biography of former First Lady Michelle Obama from the shelves. The biography, a children's book, is leftist indoctrination, the parent argued. It unfairly portrays former President Donald Trump as a bully and shames white girls, the parent said. And as much as, like, I would actually kind of almost agree with that lady. Like, I don't think they should be pulling any books off of any shelves. Or burning books, for that matter. But that's just me. Wise man once said, if you're burning books today, tomorrow you'll be burning bodies, I believe is how that phrase goes. As much as I dislike the left, and I don't play the left and right paradigm, but at this point in time, the left is the greater of the two evils. Yeah, I believe that book should be kept on the shelf. And you can't learn from history to not repeat history unless the history is remaining on the shelves. I mean, I think one of the biggest downfalls of humanity and one of the greatest losses of knowledge was the burning of the Library of Alexandria. Or all the books in the Vatican that are locked up right now as we speak or as you listen. And I mean, you got all these people like, let's raid Area 51. Where's the let's raid the Vatican archives, the secret archives, you know? I'd like to know what's in there, personally. I'd like to know what was in the Library of Alexandria before it was burnt to the ground by insane Islamic extremists. As far as I remember, that's who did it. In January, actually there was 2 or 3 burnings of the libraries of Alexandria, by the way. It wasn't just one. It was one during Cleopatra and Anthony, their time period, and then there was one afterwards during Agora, I think her name was, like during her time period when the Muslims burnt it down. Just fucking shitty, dude. In January, a Tennessee school board unanimously voted to remove the Pulitzer Prize-winning graphic novel Maus, M-A-U-S, from its curriculum. It shows people hanging. It shows them killing kids, board member Tony Allman said, according to meeting minutes. Why does the educational system promote this kind of stuff? It is not wise or healthy. And I could be wrong, but I think Maus is actually about World War II, like literally teaching about the Holocaust. So, yeah, not very educated people. The Harry Potter books have also been banned several times before. In Tennessee in 2019, for example, a pastor at a local Catholic academy removed the popular book series from the school's library, saying that the curses and spells used in the books are actual curses and spells. Oh my God, no, they're fucking not, dude. Which, when read by a human being, risk conjuring evil spirits into the presence of the person reading the text. No, it's fucking not. Oh, I wish you all could see me. I'm tearing my hair out over here, dude. Like, I actually do witchcraft. They're not real fucking spells. Locke's book burning event is just his latest controversy. Last year in July, he banned masks from his congregation, which, hey, I actually agree with that. Fresh air is nice. If anyone showed up wearing a mask, he promised to kick them out of his service. Hey, his church, his rules. I actually kind of agree with that. You start showing up with all these masks and all this nonsense, I will ask you to leave, Locke told his congregation during his Sunday sermon on July 25th. I am not playing these Democrat games up in this church. Once again, don't fall for the left and right paradigm. It's two wings of the same bird. They both fucking suck. They're both POS. He has also flouted social distancing guidelines in April 2020 and said he was praying and preaching on the steps of the U.S. Capitol during the January 6th riot. So this dude's like hardcore into the whole right wing. Hang on just a second. Technical difficulties. Let me pause. But yeah, there you have it. Some more book burning, some more crazy satanic panic type of shit. Yeah, I think we got time for one more. Let's get on with the next article. It's pretty interesting. Some craziness. But yeah. So here we'll cover some grim subject that, I don't know, this is a recent news story that I thought was creepy and interesting. Australian grave robbers are stealing human remains. Police discovered candles, crucifixes, and letters to Satan near defiled graves in a Melbourne cemetery, raising suspicions around devil worship. Grave robbers have stolen human remains from an Australian cemetery in two separate incidences over the past week, leaving police struggling to determine a motive. A spokesperson for the Victoria Police told Vice World News that the first theft took place at Melbourne's Footscray Cemetery overnight between the 27th and 28th of January, while the second occurred between Monday night and Tuesday morning. In both instances, the thieves forced their way into mausoleums, removed coffins, and desecrated the graves. Nothing appeared to have been taken other than partial human remains. It has been reported that the stolen remains were human heads, but the police refused to confirm which body parts were stolen. So, sounds like they were using it for, or going to use it for a ritual. It appears the human remains were the focus of the offender, and that's what we've been focusing on, Acting Inspector Ben Jarman told the media on Wednesday, noting that the mausoleum-style burial sites would have required equipment to break into. Candles, crucifixes, and letters to Satan were found in the cemetery, according to 7 News, raising questions as to whether the incidents might be linked to devil worship. The police have not publicly ruled this out. Quote, because it's such an uncommon crime to be committed, until we catch up with the offender and find out a motive, it's very difficult to say what the motive is, Jarman said. Extra security has been installed at the cemetery in the wake of the robberies, including 4 high-resolution cameras, and police patrols have increased. Jarman said there was very little CCTV at the time of the incidents. Police are aware of an attempt on a 3rd grave, as well as a 4th that was disturbed but did not contain human remains, as it was a pre-purchase plot. The thefts were reported to police after passerby noticed graves had been damaged. The removal of body parts can carry a penalty of up to 5 years in prison, and police are now urging anyone who may have witnessed suspicious activity in the area over the last week to come forward. It's unclear how many people were involved in the crimes. Quote, "It is difficult to say whether they are acting alone," says Jarman. "There is a lot of work to get into these mausoleums. There was a substantial amount of damage, but too early to say at this stage." So I don't know. Some creepy stuff. Some grave robbing. Sounds like they're doing some black magic, some Luciferian witchcraft, you know. But we'll leave it there. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all have an awesome day, and please like, share, and subscribe.
We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings. Secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.